I want to move into ChatGPT because I think this is the most value out of everything, and I want to make sure we have enough time to hit it. The 10 tools, obviously that's helpful, but I think this is where it actually changes the game for your business, is using ChatGPT and using it in a certain way. So I'm going to switch over back to this presentation. If you guys, by the way, want to follow me on my journey, the best way to connect with me, we respond to DMs, is on Instagram. It's just my first and last name. We provide AI value as much as we can, especially for real estate agents. So if you connect with me and you need help or questions, send us a message and we respond there. That's probably the best way to get a hold of me. But ChatGPT, first thing to understand is that it's a tool, and tools are only as good as the person using them, right? A hammer is only as good as the person swinging the hammer. A fool with a tool is still a fool, right? So we have to learn how to use this thing. It's only going to be as good as how you know how to use it. And there's two things that real estate agents struggle with. One, they don't know what to ask it, and two, they don't know how to ask it. So if we can find out what to ask it and how to ask it in the right way, you guys are going to get amazing results. If you don't know how to ask it, you will get very generic results that don't help very much. But I'm going to take you through how to be advanced and how to get whatever type of content you want from ChatGPT, and even Felicia can do it. Okay? All right? So what is ChatGPT? Obviously, that's an important thing. If you understand, and I'm not talking all tech jargon, like over your head stuff, if you understand the basics of how this works, it will change the game on how you use this thing. So here's what ChatGPT is. It's called a large language model, LLM. You might have heard people refer to LLMs. LLMs are conversational AI, where you type in something and you get a conversational response back, and you can continue that conversation. So you might have heard of some of the other players, ChatGPT, Bard, Bing, Claude, right? There's a few big ones out there that do the same type of chatbot experience where you type in a question or something and it tells you an answer. Here's the power. ChatGPT, I explain it like it's everything that Google search wished that it was, okay? Because when you type in a question on Google search, you're gonna get what? A list of static results of articles that could potentially answer your question. You click on an article, you read it, did it answer your question? Yes, you're good, no, go back to the list and find another one. With ChatGPT, you type in the same question and it responds to you like a conversation, right? And so the power behind this is ChatGPT and large language models refer to 3 different things to give you the response, okay? One, it's going to reference exactly what you asked and how you asked it, okay, to give you a certain response. It's going to then reference its entire database that it's been trained on, which is a large language model. It's been trained on massive amounts of data to then give you an answer. And then it's going to reference everything in the conversation, the whole history of that conversation, to give you an answer. Why is that important? Well, I'm going to show you how that will change the game and how you can get specific results from that alone. But here's what happens. It references all 3 of those things to give you one word. And then, yes, what you asked it, the large data set that it's been trained on, and the prior chat history in that one conversation. So it references those 3 things to give you one word, and then it recalculates and references all 3 of those same things to give you the second word based on what the first word is. And then it does all those calculations based on the 3 things to give you the third word based on what the first 2 words are. And it goes on and on and on. Word by word, it recalculates those 3 things to give you an answer, okay? To give you an idea, there's 175 billion with a B calculations per word that it spits out for you. That is why I could type in a prompt and, was it Sandy? Was that Sandy? If Sandy could type in the exact same prompt and we would get different answers because there's so many different variables, okay? So it's very, very powerful in what it can do. And that's why everyone's freaking out about AI right now, because this software is basically open up to people and there's free accounts. Anyone can use it. It's easy to use and everyone's going crazy over it, okay? I want to give you 7 use cases quickly. And if you're taking notes, you want to take note of these 7 of how you can use ChatGPT, and then I'm going to show you how to use it, okay? This is very basic, very generic, but it'll show you what ChatGPT is capable of, and you can refer back to this when you're like, oh yeah, this is possible, because these are going to be 7 use cases of how to use them, okay? Number 1 is simple questions. So similar to what you're going to ask on Google, anything that you Google, you can ChatGPT, okay? So for an example, let's see, if I were to Google who won the Super Bowl in 1995, I'm going to get an answer from Google. 49ers beat the Chargers, and here was the score, okay? Now, if I were to put that in ChatGPT, I would get the same answer, but here's the difference, and this is why I said this is so important. If I were to go into Google now and say, who was the quarterback? That's all I'm saying. What is it going to do? Well, it's going to say a quarterback is a football position. It's going to give me Wikipedia on what a quarterback is. Who is a quarterback in football? It doesn't understand what I mean. Well, I was referring to that game. I wanted to know who the quarterback was of the 49ers in 1995. So if I were to go to ChatGPT, and I'm going to use, by the way, the free version. There are 2 versions of ChatGPT. 3.5 is free. 4 is paid. It's $20 a month. Well worth it, and I'll tell you what the differences are. But for your benefit, I'm only going to use the free version in everything I'm showing you today. The free version will change your life. The paid version will do even more, okay? But let's say I said who won the Super Bowl in 2000. It's going to say that, okay, the St. Louis Rams defeated the Tennessee Titans, okay? Now I'm going to do that same thing where I say who was the quarterback. It's going to tell me the quarterback for the St. Louis Rams was Kurt Warner back in 2000. Do you see how this is powerful? Because it's referencing everything in the prior conversation, right? To where that's the difference. Well, you might say, why is that even important? That changes everything. Because now I know I can prime it, train it, and prep it on certain things to get certain results. And I'm going to show you how to do that for real estate.
Can you ask what happened this year?
No, I can't. And I believe that was the Giants, and I am a Cowboys fan. I'm so sorry. All right. Oh, was it the Patriots? Okay. When did the Giants won around that time too? Was it 9? No. It was 2002 maybe? Hold on. When did the Giants win the Super Bowl? In, let's say, near the year 2000. Let's see. They won in 87 and 91. Oh, no, they went to the Super Bowl and they lost to somebody. They lost to the Ravens. It was like 2002 or something. 2001. Okay. All right. Here. When did the Giants play the Ravens in the Super Bowl? 2001. It was the next year. So that's why I was thinking the next year. No, I thought you were a Giants fan for some reason. All right. Anyway, so you guys can see how this is powerful, right? Because if I were just to use Google, like it doesn't understand. But this, I can prep it and do certain steps to where I can get very specific results based on how I talked to it before. And I know that's a very basic way of understanding, but if you understand that concept alone, you're 90% ahead of the game, because most agents just think, I can go in here and say, write me a blog about this, and that's all they're using it for. Write me a property description for this, write me a Facebook status, that's fine, it'll save you time, but I want to learn how to actually create revenue and to drive sales in real estate with ChatGPT, and that's what I'm going to show you in the next 30 minutes, okay? So, number 1, I'm going to reorganize this so that I don't have to go back and forth. So number 1 is simple questions. Number 2 is it can generate lists. This is ideas, hobbies, questions, business ideas. Any type of list that you want, you can get from ChatGPT. So what if I were to go in here, and again, just another basic example to show you how this works. I could say, I want to pick up a new hobby. Give me a list of 10 things I can try. It's going to give me a list of 10. You can be specific with, I want 100, I want 90, whatever. It's going to give it to you. Let's see what it gives me. Painting or drawing? I'm not good at either, not my thing. Playing a musical instrument? Yes, that's totally up my alley. Cooking, baking? No. Gardening? No. Hiking or nature walks? Sure. Photography? Not good at. Man, I'm not good at a lot of things. Yoga? Not good. Writing? DIY crafts? Definitely not. Astronomy? All right. It gives me a list of things I could try because that's what I asked it to do. But here's the power in ChatGPT, and I want you guys to understand this. It's garbage in, garbage out. Most people use ChatGPT that way with all the content they're creating. But what if I were to say, I'm a 34-year-old male from Greensboro, North Carolina. I like sports, outdoors, and physical activities. I want to pick up a new hobby. Give me a list of 10 things I can try specific to Greensboro. Watch what it's going to do. Hiking and trail running, up my alley. But look at this. Hiking or trail running parks like Guilford Courthouse National Military Park, Bog Garden, Benjamin Park, Haw River State Park. I know that doesn't mean anything to you. Those are real places in Greensboro. Mountain biking, Owl's Roost Trail, Burr Mill Park, golfing, Grandover Resort. It's giving me things that I would enjoy because I like sports, I like outdoors. I primed it and I told it what I wanted. I was very specific, told it my age, told it my gender, and I said where I lived, and I wanted it to be specific to that, right? Do you see how garbage in, garbage out? It really depends on how we ask the question, right? So if we can then ask things a certain way, we can get really, really good results, which is why I say real estate agents don't know what to ask it, but they also don't know how to ask it. Because if they knew how to ask it, they would be getting really, really good results, all right? Number 3 then, is long form written pieces. This is articles, this is blogs, this could be long emails, right? Anything that's long form written. Here's how most agents are writing blogs. Write me a 1,000 word, because you can be specific with how long you want it, blog about, what did we say before? Home staging, right? The benefits of home staging before selling your home. It's going to write me a 1,000 word blog. Here's an introduction, maximize the first impression, enhance photography, speed up sale, increase sales price, emphasizes space and functionality, reduces clutter, appeals to a wider audience, builds trust and confidence, reduces stress and anxiety, increases marketability, and a conclusion. So most agents are using it that way, and that's fine. It will save you time doing that, and it's fully capable of writing a full 1,000 word blog about a topic just by doing that. But there is a right way to do it, and I'll share that with you in probably 10 minutes here, okay? Number 4 is feedback prompts. Feedback prompts. You can paste in anything, a text message, an email, a blog you've written, anything at all, and say, give me feedback on this. How could I do this better? So you could ask for feedback on spelling, grammar. You could ask for feedback on a tone. Like, for an example, I had a client who was very upset, and I was writing an email response to this upset client, and I stopped and I was like, wait a minute. So I copied their email, pasted it in, said, will you reply to this email to this client and be respectful? And it did a way better job than I was about to do, okay? But you can ask for feedback on anything you've done, and it will give you feedback. So here's a creative way that real estate agents can do this. If you're using a CRM that records your calls, like I use Follow Up Boss, they record the calls, I can click on a call, drag it into ChatGPT. If you have the paid version, you can upload files to it, so you could upload an audio file. Or I could take the transcription from that audio, copy that text if I'm using the free version of ChatGPT, paste it in, and say, how could I have better acquired this customer? It will literally role play with you and tell you where in the conversation you could have done better. You might want to try saying this right here, and it will give you feedback. So let's think outside the box on how we can use this technology, because no one's using it that way, right? But if you start using it that way, you're going to be way ahead of everyone else. But it is fully capable of doing feedback. Modification prompts, number 5. Modification prompts. You can modify anything. And by modify, I mean you can translate to another language. You can lengthen something, shorten something, reword something, rephrase, outline. So let's do this here. I'm just going to copy just this conclusion. Okay? I'm going to copy the conclusion. I'm going to say, translate this to, let's pick a hard one, Chinese for me. All right, here we go. It's writing it in Chinese. Who's fluent in Chinese that can verify? You can do any language. Translate to any language. Spanish, right? French, doesn't matter. You can lengthen something. So let's say I just have that short little conclusion, but I need like an article written about it. And I could say, write me 1,000 words about this. Just paste in the conclusion, and from this little section, it's going to write me 1,000 words just about the conclusion. So you can expand things. If you have a short little thing and you need to expand it, you can expand it. You can go the other way around, and you could take the entire article. So this 1,000 words right here that we just wrote, I could take this whole thing, and I could copy all of it. And I could say, write me a Facebook post. Let's do 50 words or less. Let's make it really short about this. I paste in the 1,000 words, and it is going to write me, after all of that, it's going to write me this short Facebook post. Considering selling your home, don't underestimate the power of home staging. It's more than just aesthetics, it's strategic investment. From maximizing first impressions to increasing your home's marketability, staging can make a big difference. Check out our latest blog to unlock the benefits of home staging. #real estate, #home selling, #staging success. It analyzed the whole blog, and it created and made it shorter. You can do that for anything, right?
Get the hashtags from, is it using algorithms for effective hashtags?
It uses what it's been trained on for effective, yeah. And you can actually ask it, search the web for the top hashtags to use for this from this month or this year, and it will do that. Yeah. All right, so that's modification. Number 6 then is instructional prompts. This is how-tos, guidelines, instructions. I'm going to show you a very basic way, but you can do this for anything. I could literally type in, I don't know, how do I build a birdhouse? It's going to give me like my shopping list. Here's the materials I need. All right? Step-by-step instructions. 1, 2, 3. You can do this for anything. I hate printers. They never work. Does anyone else agree? I feel like I'm always having an issue with a printer. You could go in here and say, hey, I have an Epson 35i. How do I do this? And it will tell you step-by-step for that, because it accesses the web to do that. Okay?
It won't browse and give you videos like YouTube video.
You can ask it for videos, and it can give you links to videos. Yeah. Yeah. So a lot of power with how-to. Last one then of the 7 is information extraction. You can extract data from text. So if I were to say, write me a summary, let's do a 100-word summary. Keep it short. About the book, Good to Great. Here you go. It's a business book by Jim Collins, and it gives me a summary that's 100 pages long. I could say, write me an entire blog about this. I could say, write me a Facebook status. Use the information from Good to Great, but here's what I'm trying to do. I want to target real estate agents and provide value to them. Use Good to Great to create me a Facebook status using the principles of Good to Great for real estate agents to encourage them. And it'll write me a Facebook status. You can be very specific with this thing, but you can extract data from text, links, articles, and extract things from books, whatever you want, okay? So those are the 7 easy use cases. Now, I told you how most people use those things, and that's great. You will save time doing this. But how can you figure out how to ask the things the right way. Because again, you didn't get into real estate to become a prompt engineer, right? But you want to be able to use this thing at a very high level. So I have in the PDF that I have given you guys, let's see, where did I put that thing? In this PDF, I have not only the 10 tools, here we go, I'm giving you 10 prompts that all you have to do is copy it and paste it into ChatGPT and hit enter. Everyone can copy and paste, right? Felicia, can you copy and paste? Okay, if Felicia can do this, you guys can do this. So I'm going to show you, before we get some food here, this is where all the value is right here. Because I've done the work to figure out what to ask it for real estate and how to ask it the right way. I've spent the last year and a half of my life doing this stuff, okay? I have not turned on a TV in 22 months, okay? But what's that? I didn't miss anything? Okay, yeah. Who won the Super Bowl last year? I don't even know. I can ask ChatGPT though, and I'll find out. So what I'm about to show you, this first prompt that you guys are going to get in this PDF will change your business, okay? If you have been sleeping this entire time, like nudge the person next to you and make sure they're awake, because this is where all the value is, okay? This is what people pay me thousands of dollars for this stuff. I'm not kidding, okay? You're going to get it for free today. This prompt right here, I'm going to read it to you, but this one alone will change everything for you. This is training ChatGPT to fully understand your business and goals, and I'm going to read it to you. Here you go. Prepare to generate content for me in future prompts. Before we proceed, I want you to fully comprehend my business, customers, target audience, and goals. Base your future responses on my provided answers that I will give to you. I want you to fully understand my objectives for creating content. To achieve this, ask me at least 25 questions about my business, customers, target audience, vision, goals, and any other necessary details to complete the upcoming tasks to the best of your ability. Your understanding is crucial for optimal results. Do you see what I'm doing? I'm turning it back on ChatGPT to say, look, I want you to create content for me, but I want you to ask me the most important 25 things that you need to ask me in order to fully understand to do this job at the best of your ability. Because if I were to hire lady in the blue, not ma'am, in the blue, what is your name?
Dina.
Dina. If I were to hire you full-time for my business to create all my marketing content for me, you're going to create my emails, you're going to create my short-form content, video, podcasts, everything. If I just said, okay, create content for me, would you know what to do? You'd probably just create random stuff, but I would have to train Dina on what is my business. Well, I teach real estate agents how to use AI, and I coach them. All right, where are you located? What's your target audience? What's your average price point? Like, what are you trying to do? Most people are going into ChatGPT and they're just like, hey, do this for me. And it has no reference to who you are as a business. If we train it on our business, remember how it references everything in the prior chat history? So that if I answer the 25 most important questions and I give it detailed information about my business, my value prop, my market, my target audience, it's going to create all of my content from there on out in that conversation based on my answers to those questions. So now I have very specific, not generic stuff for me and my business. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, so I want you to do this, and Felicia is going to copy this, and she's going to paste this in, and this is what it's going to do. You hit enter, and it says, certainly, I'd be happy to gather information to better understand your business, blah, blah, blah. Here are the 25 questions that I need, and it's going to list them out. It's going to start off very basic, like, okay, what's the name of your business? What is the service that you're offering, right? Can you describe the mission or purpose? Who are your main competitors in the industry? It goes deep into what are the typical buying journey or decision-making process for your clients, right? Do you have any preferred content formats, blogs, videos? Are there any upcoming events, product launches, or promotions? Like, it asks the questions that it needs to ask. So here's what I'm going to ask you to do. You do this. You copy these 25 questions. You paste it into a Word doc, a note, a Google Doc, whatever you use. And you hit enter, and you just begin to answer the question. This is going to take you 30 minutes to do. Okay? We talk about time investment and leverage at the very beginning. This is why. If you invest this 30 minutes to doing this exercise this week, This will change everything for you, okay? You take those answers, you copy that whole thing. So now you have 25 questions and 25 answers. You copy it, you paste it in right here, and you just say, here are the answers to your questions, paste, enter. Now it is fully trained on your business. Now here's the thing, yeah.
Repeat the question with the answer below it, or do you just number them and put the answer?
I keep the question and answer. Yeah. You just, essentially you're copying this, you hit enter, you answer it right below. So you have number 1, what's the name of your business? Right underneath it, whatever our real estate, MGM Realty, right? Whatever. You're just answering the questions, copying it all, pasting it back in. Now here's the thing, when you start a new conversation in ChatGPT, it does not keep all of that information. You have to use this right here on the side as your history. You can reference anything you've done before by clicking on this. So what I would do, it already like pre-names it for you, but this little 3-dot thing right here, you click on that, you hit rename, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna name it MGM Realty, so that whenever I need to create content for MGM Realty, I just go back here and it references everything we've talked about, okay? I would still save that document of all the questions and answers that you just answered, save it for future reference, because after, it depends on how much you use it, but after a couple months, I always tell people once a month, do a new one, because it will start to forget information thousands of pages later, and you don't want to get into that where it's forgetting stuff. So what I would do as a good practice is once a month, I would just copy and paste the same thing and start a new one, okay? But you can create content that's specific to you in this one conversation, and it's amazing the detail that it provides you, okay? Does all of that make sense? All right, once you've done that, and I'm gonna switch this so I don't have to do all that every time. Step 2 then would be 90 content ideas that your target audience may want to know. What this says, I'll read it too quickly. Generate a list of 90 lesser known facts about. Now, anytime I have a bracket or a different color there, it says topic, that's a variable. You can put in whatever topic you want. Now, I did this because some people use this prompt without training the business before, but if you've trained the business, all you have to say in that topic is my business, because it totally understands everything that you're wanting to do. So you could say, generate a list of 90 less known facts about my business, present them in random order. For each point, provide an explanation while highlighting my business, craft the explanations to be detailed and engaging, offering insights that would captivate potential buyers and clients. The goal is to educate my audience, showcase my expertise, and attract new clients. Ensure that the topics you include are intriguing and aligned with the interests of my potential buyers, serving as rich material for future content creation. So now what we've done in 2 steps is we have trained it on your business fully. And now we have 90 content ideas that your target audience may want to know, and we've got them listed out as 90. So what I would like you to do then is copy the 90, paste that into a Word doc or a note or whatever you use, go through them and then delete the ones that don't really speak to you or that you don't really want to talk about, right? You can be like, that one's okay, whatever. Now maybe you have 70. Let's say you delete 20 of them. You've got 70 ideas that you want to talk about for your specific area, your price point, your target audience, and it's all right there in a list. Then we're going to go to create a complete content calendar. It says, I'd like you to help me come up with a content schedule for my, and then this variable has blog, podcast, short form video, YouTube channel. You can put whatever you want in there, whatever type of content you're wanting to create. That has the best chance of helping me reach as many clients and potential clients as possible. The entire goal is to establish my authority in my market and provide massive value to my audience. I want to inform and captivate potential buyers and clients with my content. I'd like to post, and you put in how many times a week you want to post. Please target clickbait style titles that will get people to want to watch, read, or listen to my content. Please organize the title of each piece of content in a nice looking table so it looks like a calendar. Each week should be separated into its own table. Use whatever knowledge you have about my specific business goals and target audience to create this calendar. And then look right here, guys, this variable down here at the bottom, you paste in your list of 70. You copy the 70 that you've already edited, you paste them in, and it's going to use those ideas to create clickbait style titles, tell you exactly what day to post what. So if you did blog once a week and you posted the 70 content ideas, it's going to give you clickbait style titles for the blog based on the content, and it's going to say, all right, January 17th you're posting this, January 24th you're posting this, and it's in a full table that looks like a spreadsheet and a calendar. What have we done? We've trained ChatGPT on your business specifically in hyper detail. We've created content ideas that your target audience may want to know from that. We have now created a full content calendar for whatever type of content you're wanting to create, and it's done for you, okay? So some of the other ones that you're gonna get, I had a video on social media that went insanely viral because I was speaking in Orlando and I said something to the nature of this. If you're in real estate, you might have seen it on Instagram or TikTok, where I said, what if you were to use ChatGPT to create a buyer or seller persona? And once you create that persona, you have it list out potential pain points, issues, challenges that that buyer or seller could face in your market, your price point, your specific niche. Then you create content or even run ads solving the problems of your target audience. And it just exploded, like millions and millions of views. But that's what this one is right here, and I'm giving it to you for free. I'm not gonna read you the whole thing because it's very long, but the only thing you put in is your industry, so real estate, product and price point, homes in the however many, whatever price point you're shooting for, in the market, and you put in zip code, city, neighborhood, whatever you wanted to put. It will create a buyer or seller persona based on your specific business, and it'll tell you those pain points, and then you have create a targeted ad based on that specific persona. So what it's gonna do is, the only thing you're gonna put in is that says Facebook. I know that's hard to read back there. You can create whatever ad you want, Google ad, Facebook ad, any type of content, and what this is gonna do is it's gonna create the content that solves the problems of your target audience, right? We talked about leverage, obviously, and then we talked about value. Figure out what the value is to your potential clients. And that is, if you can solve problems for people, you're providing value from their perspective of value, not from your own. That's what this is, and that's why that's so important, okay? Some of the other ones you guys are gonna get in this is creating the perfect blog post. I promised you I would show you the correct way. I will not read this whole thing to you because it's long, but essentially what I'm telling it is you're gonna act as an SEO content writer. I want you to create me a minimum of 15 headings and subheadings, H1, H2, H3, H4, which basically makes it look pretty. 2,000 word article, unique SEO optimized. And the only thing you guys have to do, which even Felicia can do this, is all you have to do is put in the title of your blog, which if you did my steps, you have a whole list of 70 clickbait style titles, right? All right, so let's paste this in right here. It says, title of your blog / topic. So you would take whatever January 17th post is, paste it in, you're done. But let me use the exact same title I used on the previous one to keep it apples to apples to show you the difference on the old blog that normal people write and using a prompt like this and what it does. What did I do? The benefits of home staging before selling your home. That's all I'm gonna do. I'm gonna hit enter. And you can see, even using the free version of ChatGPT, I start off with an article outline in a spreadsheet format, and we have introduction, what is home staging, why is home staging important, the psychological impact of home staging, increased property value, faster sale, creating an emotional connection, key home staging tips, decluttering and depersonalizing, furniture arrangement and placement, lighting and color, curb appeal, the ROI of home staging, DIY versus professional home staging, common misconceptions about home staging, conclusion, and then this is very important, frequently asked questions. Why? Because you're answering the questions people are typing into Google. So if you go through this whole entire article, at the bottom, you've got these 5 FAQs, but can you agree that that blog is better than the one that most people do where they're like, write me 1,000 words about, right? We're hyper detailed on what we want. And if you use that after training it on your business, you're gonna get an even better result because it's gonna be for your target audience. Is all of this making sense? Okay. Another one that you guys get, analyze a specific text for style, voice, and tone. If you want ChatGPT to sound like you, this is a very simple prompt, but it works. Analyze the following text for style and tone of voice. Apply the exact same style to all future responses in this chat. You paste in something you've written. It can be an email, it could be a text message, whatever. Everything that it spits out in that conversation is going to be written like you write. So then it sounds like you and not just a robot, okay? You also get generate excellent product service descriptions. This is for property descriptions that are accurate. Okay, use that for sure. And then generating 10 captivating hooks for content and ads. We already talked about the importance of hooks. This will give you 10 different hooks to choose from when you're creating any type of content. Okay, and then the last one is Instagram carousel content creator. Instagram carousel is that thing where you see on Instagram where it's like, here are the 5 tips to whatever, swipe, and you swipe through the images. That's an Instagram carousel. This will create an Instagram carousel content idea for you based on your topics. Is this valuable for you? Yes. Should I give this PDF to you, or should I leave? What do you think? Okay. All right. I guess. So scan that code, and it's going to take you. You'll see my landing page. I'll show you how that works. I'll move out of the way so my head's not in the way of the QR code. Yes.
Is there any etiquette protocol for when you're using AI to generate content, or you just always pretend it's your content?
As far as
When you put a blog post up that was written by a chatbot or something,
Yeah.
do you ever say this was
no. If you use ChatGPT, there's no plagiarism with ChatGPT. Some of the other LLMs, there is, because it's pulling from other sources. The way that ChatGPT works is there's so many variables with every single word that right now there's no plagiarism concerns with ChatGPT. There are softwares that can tell if it was generated by AI, but it's not plagiarizing someone else's work, if that makes sense, because it's going word by word. Okay? Are you guys able to get that? Is it bright enough to scan? Yeah. Okay. Do you want me to keep this up, or are we done with this one? Still need it?
What was the difference between the free and the paid chat that you said?
Yes. And Simon, tell me how much time do I have left?
Yeah,
You have all day.
5 more minutes. Okay.
we don't need speculative time.
Yeah. So let's make sure you guys can get this. Are you good at the back of the room? Are you good scanning? Main differences between free version and paid version. The paid version allows you to upload files. It will then analyze files and give you results based on the files. So let's say you have a PDF about your business, or you have a PDF that you want to analyze. You can upload a PDF, audio, video, whatnot. You also have a longer context window, which means it can spit out more information, right? 300 plus pages rather than like 50 pages. So some of those things are very valuable. Now, I want to hit 2 quick things before we wrap up, and we'll get food. There are 3 things that you will find frustrating about ChatGPT, and I want to tell you how to get around them because most people don't know how to get around them, okay? Here we go. 1 is data cutoff. If you have the free version of ChatGPT, it is only trained on data through January of 2022, okay? This is very, very bad for real estate agents because if you write an article or do something and you're like, hey, talk about the current inventory or talk about the current mortgage interest rates, it's going to be like, it's historic lows, there's frenzies, like right? It's not going to be accurate. The paid version is March of 2023, so it's a little bit better than the free version, but there's a way around this. So the paid version of ChatGPT is also connected to the web, to where if you ask a question that has to do with today's data or this month's data or current data, it will automatically use the web to give you the current results. So anything you ask it that's after March of 2023, it's smart enough to know we need to reference the web first before we give them the data. So you're good if you have the paid version. Now, if you have the free version, that's January of 2022. Let me show you. If I were to say on the free version, who won the Super Bowl in 2023? It's going to say, I'm sorry, but I can't do that. My data only goes up to January 2022, right? So if I do that on the paid version, it's automatically going to search the web and it'll give me the result. But here's the workaround. I want you guys to write this down. Web chat GPT.app. This is a Chrome extension. Web chat GPT.app. You click, get it on Chrome or whatever browser you use. And once you do that, you are going to get this button down here. This is not normally there. It says web access. You turn this on when you need something that is past January 2022, and you could say, who won the Super Bowl in 2023? Using the free version, what it's going to do is it's going to reference the web before giving you an answer. So what you could do if you're on the free version is say, give me a full summary of the housing market for this area. See, the Kansas City Chiefs won in 2023. That's using the free version, but you just have web access turned on. If you give yourself a full summary of the current data, current trends, current inventory, current mortgage interest rates, it writes you that full summary, and then you create your content. Again, it references everything you've talked about before, so now it's going to use the current data. But you have to turn on web access to get that current data before you do that. Does that make sense?
Where you can turn it? I missed it. Where is the button you can turn this?
Right here, right down here. So it's off, on. Yep. So once you install that extension, this just shows up. It wasn't there before, okay? All right. Number 2 then is, where did that go? Here we go. Output limit. So ChatGPT stops after a certain amount. There's a context length. So I told you it's like 50 pages or whatever for the free version. It's 300 pages for the paid. If you're writing something massively long and it just stops in the middle of a word, that can be frustrating. There is a very easy workaround that I didn't know for like 2 months. And that is you type in the word continue and you hit enter. It will literally pick up on the very next word and continue and finish your whole project, okay? Most real estate agents don't know that. They're just like, oh well. Number 3 is SEO throttling. If something is detected as written by AI, and this is only for blogs really, Google will not promote your blog because it doesn't promote AI-generated content. So this is kind of back to your question. How do you get around this? Well, what I do is if you're writing a blog, write this down, undetectable.ai. If you're writing a blog, do this for sure every time you post your blog. What you do is you paste in your text, okay, which we had this text here that I had copied. All you have to do is click agree right here, and then you do check for AI. It will literally say detected as AI or it appears to be human written. 80% of the time, if it's AI written, it's going to say it's AI written. 20% of the time, it'll be like, well, we don't know, it's human written. If it says that it's human written, you don't have to do anything. If it says it's written by AI and you're worried about SEO and Google promoting your stuff, you just click the humanize button. And it makes it to where it's undetectable that it was written by AI. Okay? So those are kind of my 3 hacks because those 3 things are so frustrating and real estate agents are just like, oh, well, I guess I can't write about anything that has to do with mortgage rates. No, like there are ways around it, right? And so those are the 3 roadblocks. Now, what I want to do in closing, do you guys feel like those 10 prompts are helpful? Like knowing what to say and how to say it? Okay. If you want to go deeper and you're like, I love this stuff, I really want to learn how to use this, and you think that those 10 prompts are helpful, I've actually written over 500 for real estate, okay? So you have general use, you have email advertising, SEO, YouTube, Twitter, customer service, web, anything you can think about to where you have this whole bank of prompts where you just copy and paste it in. This is what I've worked 22 months on, right? So if you are like me and you're like, I can see the value in this and I see how those 10 prompts can help me, obviously having a bank of 500 would be super helpful.